All right. Let's do, Shelley, can you do roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Sean Crittenden. Wes Snowfire.
Honey.
Keith Austin.
Here.
Danny Callison.
Here.
Julia Coates. Joe Deere. Mike Dobbins.
Here.
Rex Jordan.
Here.
Johnny Kidwell.
Here.
Daryl Legg.
Here.
Dora Petzkowski.
Here.
Mike, Joshua Sam.
Here.
Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Melvina Shotpouch. E.O. Smith.
Here.
Condessa Teehee. Victoria Vasquez. We have a quorum.
All right, thank you, Shelley. Has everyone had a chance to read over the minutes? If everyone has read over the minutes, could you please make a motion for its approval? Got a motion? Got a second? All those in favor? Aye. All right, now let's move on down to reports. We got Diane Kelly with Vocational Programs, Talk and Leave Job Corps, and Career Services.
Well, you've got my report in front of you, but I have to share this with you. I was sharing it with Verna. We had a meeting about a week or so ago. It was Verna, Jennifer Kirby, and Tricia Peoples. And they're in dire straits for help with childcare. So we had a meeting, and we had 89 potential clients that signed up for going to school to get their CDA certification. And 16 of them got enrolled because they have to get their FAFSA. They have to get a lot of paperwork done. So there's 16 of them that got enrolled for this semester. And then we'll start working with the rest of them to try to get them in the spring semester in January. November 1st is the deadline, so we've got a whole month to help get those applications. So we're still recruiting. So if you know of anybody out there for child care or early childhood, for Head Start, let us know, because we're taking applications. And we were very pleased with the number that turned out. Anna Knight with the Bridges to Poverty is working with us, and she's going to give them an incentive to get enrolled in the program. And if they complete the program, which would be at the end of the semester in May, then if they get a job with us, not somebody else, but with us, then there would be another incentive for them to get hired. So we're hoping that that incentive had a lot to do with their wanting to go in the program and take the classes. So it will help them in the long run to get a certification. We're also celebrating this Friday the Cherokee Career Readiness 2-year anniversary. Some of you all were present when we had the signing of the proclamation for the law, career readiness law. We did it at Pryor at Northeast Tech. And some of you all were there for that picture, the signing and the proclamation. I think it might have been on the news that night. Well, on the 16th, we actually would be celebrating our 2-year anniversary, but we're going to do it on Friday the 15th at the Chota Ballroom. And we're also going to be recognizing those partners who actually helped us in the very beginning when we were starting the lineman program. And we're going to be recognizing them at the event, and also talking about our ARPA money and how that's going to tie in with our career readiness. So I think some of you all have already RSVP'd, but if you want to come, we'd be glad to have you there. And you've got my report in front of you, mostly about GED and what we're doing. We gave you some success stories, but there are 2 success stories that are not in your book, and they'll probably be in there next month. I hope you can hear me with this. It's bothering me. I'll have to pull it down. The National Indian and Native American Employment Training Conference was held in Warnock, Rhode Island recently. It was the 41st annual, and we had 2 outstanding participants from the Cherokee Nation. One is a young lady by the name of Summer Locust, and she works here at the complex, and she's from Cherokee County. And the other young lady is a lady by the name of Casey Simpson, and she is from Rogers County in Claremore. And both of these 2 young ladies were cited as 2021 outstanding participants, and they were nominated by their counselors for this prestigious honor. And Cherokee Nation has done very well. Almost every year, we've brought home at least one of the outstanding participants, and this year we got 2. So we were very fortunate, and they'll be featured in probably next month's monthly report. And Job Corps has, they've been on what they call pause because of a COVID case, and we received information today that they are looking at all of the Job Corps centers, because they're federal programs, that they will be mandated probably in the next month, or if not sooner, that everybody that works there has to have a vaccination, because they are going home and they could be bringing it back to the students, or else the students are going home. But most of our students are quarantined the first 2 weeks they're there, and then a lot of them don't go home like they used to. So there's about 120 Job Corps, or maybe a little more than that. But right now, they are saying that that's possibly going to happen. So just wanted you all to be aware of it. Any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Diane. Do we have any questions for Ms. Kelly? Counselor Shambaugh.
Just a comment. I got to speak with one of your students' mothers. He is in electrical school. She had some wonderful, wonderful things to say about your program and what they've done for her son. Got training that he couldn't have got anywhere else in a timely manner that he couldn't have got, anywhere else. So, gosh, she had nothing but good things to say about your program, your electrical program, and, putting people through that and them getting jobs really quick. That's a pretty awesome deal you guys got going, and she just said, I told her that you were over that and said, if you see that Diane Kelly, you tell her, I said, thank you so much, because she has helped, now that program has helped her son. They just didn't know what to do, but that program meant everything to them.
Well, thank you, Councilman Shambaugh, or Speaker. I appreciate that, because we do our best to try to help all of these people as much as we possibly can. And there is categories in there for us to assist them if they are having a child care problem, if they're having transportation problem, or whatever, so we can keep them in school so that they can complete those classes. So I have to take my hat off to my counselors, because they go that extra mile. We've got some good counselors working out there.
Well, they did a good job. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Have any other questions for Ms. Kelly? All right. Well, Counselor Dobbins.
Diane, do we know timeline on the canoe facility and prior? When will they break ground? When will they be up and running?
We're hoping that they break ground probably after the first of the year. I do know that there are other companies that they're looking to get there in the park. We met with one that possibly does some of the work for parts for that company, but it's a project. It's called Project Ocean, and I don't know if they're coming or not. But we did meet with a company that's a possibility. We don't know. I know that there is a gentleman that was with the group from Canoe, so I know that they're still working on it. There's some land that is right behind the Google plant, and that's basically where they would be building. So I'm sure you'll be hearing something about it real soon.
Is it too early to tell how many Cherokee jobs will be created with that facility?
It's probably too early, because I know how many they want to hire, but they always start up the first year with a certain number, the second year so many. So by the third or fourth year is when they are usually at their peak at whatever they're going to peak out at.
Right. Thank you, Diane. Thank you,
Thank
Chair.
you.
All right, thanks, Counselor Dobbins. Anybody else have anything to comment or add? All right, Counselor Smith.
Just real quick, down to the Veterans Home, the new one down in Southall,
Yes, sir.
are we putting any workers out there
We are making referrals, yes, sir,
for,
for some of the construction, yes.
what field generally,
I have-
laborers or?
Well, I'm not really sure. It may be some of the specific Corps crews. I'm not really sure. We've had a lot of people that have come in and inquired about it, and we've told them that they need to go out there to the trailer, to the site.
Okay, so tell them just go to the trailer?
That's where they need to go for any
Okay.
of the jobs, because you never know. Somebody could just walk off tomorrow, or somebody could quit, because a lot of people are jumping around from construction site to construction site, wherever the grass is greener. and sometimes they're usually needing help. So I would suggest if you know somebody, I'd have them go out there and make an application and have it on file.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Counselor Legg, yes.
For the early childhood development courses, if they are offered at Carl Albert, are we to direct them to career services to get assistance with that, or are we going to stick with that being a higher ed?
They have to go and make an application, and our counselors are working with Jamie's staff there
Jamie's
at
Hickson.
Carl Albert.
Okay,
Yes. And we're trying to work with them. There's somebody, a point person there at the school, maybe two people, that's working with them to get all the paperwork necessary to be accepted into the program at the school. And then we take the application on the flip side through
Gotcha.
Career Services. So
Okay.
we're working with her.
Okay.
Or she's notifying us if somebody comes in directly.
Right. And by the way, 41 years ago, she started the nanotech. There would not be a nanotech if it wasn't for Diane Kelly.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Counselor Legg. Anybody else? All right, well, Diane Kelly, just one quick comment before I let you go. Lineman program that graduated last month, had my nephew graduate in it. He kind of gave me a little bit of experience of what it was like, and it's really a great program. I mean, it's really something that our kids are utilizing, getting into a career field that wasn't available for him. You know, he graduated high school, went to college for a year, didn't feel like it was going to be the best fit for him, and just didn't really know it was there. But then he seen the lineman program, and I talked to him about it, about going and trying to apply through it. And I think that's something that all of our counselors seems to be benefiting from. And I think, do you know how many districts we've had represented from Citizens
No,
of
but I'd
Conflict
be
program
glad to
yet?
get that information for you and have it available in my report next month.
Okay, I appreciate it, Darren. That'd be great.
We're getting ready to start our fourth fiber program and our sixth lineman program.
Wow. It didn't seem like it's been that long since we started the lineman program. Was it just been 2 years and we've gotten that many
Yeah,
classes
yeah.
through?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Great to hear. Well, Ms. Kelly, really appreciate you coming in there. Good report as always.
Thank you, thank you. Y'all have a good day.
All right, now we have our Executive Director report of our education, Mr. Corey Bunch.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to see you. I believe you have my report, and I'd be glad to answer any questions on that. But if you don't mind, I'd like to give just a highlight or two. Recently, Mark Vance, most of you guys know Mark Vance, he's my deputy. He was reelected to the office of President of the National JOM. That happened just a couple of weeks ago, so we're proud of Mark and his efforts with that. It's a great organization. They're constantly lobbying for our public schools, and Oklahoma has more JOM schools, I guess, than any other state. So proud of Mark's work on that. This evening, our College Resource Center begins hosting a virtual college fair. That's a 2-night event. They are offering door prizes for those students who want to join that. So we're looking forward to that. All kinds of great information for our college students. I think those are the main two things I wanted to mention for highlights. But as I said, you have my report.
All right, appreciate it, Mr. Bunch. Any questions for Mr. Bunch on Executive Director report? Counselor Dobbins.
Corey, on page 11 of your report, you have the statistics on our fall enrollment for scholarships. I just wanted to ask, undergrad, we have over 4,700 that have our scholarships. Can you briefly tell us on the denied category, 580, canceled 32? Give us an example of one that's been denied.
So one that would be denied could be that it was past deadline. It could be that they didn't make satisfactory progress for last semester. I mean, there are just various reasons for those denied. It could be also that they're not a Cherokee citizen, that they just saw the application online. That sometimes happens. So there's lots of different reasons for denials.
I know in the past you've come up with some approximate percentages, but we've got over 5,000, I guess, undergrad this fall. Statistically, of those 5,000, how many of those will graduate if it's statistically consistent within the past? In other words, how many of our students graduate?
Yes, that's a great question. Let me get that information and follow up to you. It's actually somewhat higher than I suspected. We went over it just the other day, but I don't want to misquote myself, so let me follow up with some detailed information on that.
Okay, thank you, Corey. Thank you, Chair.
I think Counselor Dobbins. Anybody else have any questions? Counselor Joe Deere.
Hey, Corey, just a comment about the JOM. Congratulations to Mark when he was up in Atlantic City. I was just going to let people know that Cherokee citizen Wendy Stokes out of Owasso Junior High won the JOM National Teacher of the Year of the region. She works with Owasso Indian Ed, Owen Halzipta, and that group. What's sort of interesting, the principal, Matt Roberts, who's on the Tribal of Indian Affairs with the city of Tulsa with me, he's also the principal of that same school. So we went over there and presented her a blanket and honored her, and then we did some shirts. So just to FYI that, the Cherokee Citizen teacher and education represented us really well. So I was proud to talk to Wendy in that, because she's continuing to work, and as Corey knows, she's a big ally of, education for our kids. So I just want to make the comment and just give her kudos, and then congratulations to Mark. So
Certainly. Thank you.
you're doing a great job, Corey. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Appreciate it, Counselor Deere. Anybody else? Yes, Counselor Teehee.
I think my question is one that probably can't be resolved at this point in time,
Okay.
but it's something I would like for consideration. As I look at the requirements for the scholarships, I see self-help hours, and I'm strongly in favor of self-help hours. I think those are wonderful. So my question is, at some point, could we see Cherokee language classes that are voluntarily taken by the students qualifying for their self-help requirement under our Cherokee Nation scholarships?
I believe that's a terrific idea. We actually are open to other thoughts as well. I know that we currently are looking at proposing some alternates because of the pandemic that we're in still, but I believe that would also be a good permanent option as well. So I'll definitely look into that.
What don't?
Appreciate it, Counselor Teehee. Anybody else have any other questions? I have one for you, Mr. Bunch.
Okay.
I was able to go to the National Indigenous Peoples Day yesterday at the NSU, and they have the Native American Student Association that's there. They recently lost their federal funding that they had to keep that open and operable, though there's still a charter there for it. Do we have a working relationship with them yet? I know that they're looking for a space. It's something that they don't have up there at the school. And is there something that we could do to help try to get them a space there?
That's a great question. It's something that we're aware of. It's been brought to our attention a few weeks back, so we are working towards a possible solution. We'll see what's to come, but we definitely have a good relationship with them.
Appreciate it, Mr. Bunch. Yeah, they're a good group of kids out there. It's a great program that they have. It's something I wish was there whenever I was a student. I guess we might as well just go ahead into your Sequoia High School report. If you have any comments or statements regarding that.
Yeah, sure. Just a couple of quick comments. Our current enrollment is 323. We have 79 dorm students, including 34 boys and 45 girls. One of the things that I've been working on recently in conjunction with NSU is a team of professors that are coming into the school and kind of studying what we do as far as our academics and our teaching strategies. And so they've been studying what we're doing, and they're going to present some recommendations to me soon. And we're hopefully it'll lead to even better or more enhanced teaching and overall academic quality at Sequoia. So constantly on the lookout for making things better at Sequoia High School.
I appreciate it. Any questions regarding Sequoia High School for Mr. Bunch? Yeah, Counselor Teehee.
Not really a question, just a comment. I was so proud to see the band marching again. I know that Mr. Morris has really built that program from nothing. And the Pride of Sequoia is truly the pride of Sequoia. And so I am just thrilled to see the band marching again. I just wanted to comment on that.
I will definitely pass along those kind words. And yes, Mr. Morris, when he inherited the program, he had a small closet full of old instruments, all dented up, scratched up, and he's brought it to what we have today. So we certainly appreciate his efforts.
All right, thanks, Counselor Teehee. Any other questions regarding Sequoia High School? I just have one question on moving forward this year on the fishing team that we have. I know that they're getting things geared up for this year. I think they've already had 1 or 2 tournaments. I know that it's kind of a student funding raising program. Have we looked at trying to dedicate any sort of funds or in the future towards that program coming from the school?
Yes, we certainly have. Actually, I've been looking at all the activities and trying to determine exactly how much we should budget for them each year out of our ISEP funds.
Right.
And then any additional fundraising would just add to that. We certainly don't want to restrict anyone from doing their own fundraising. We want them to be involved in those processes. So, haven't got a clear answer on it yet, but we will, at some point very soon, determine exactly what budget each activity should get.
Well, I definitely think that's awesome that the school's doing that, participating in the fishing and in the archery program, which is like 2 of the most culture significant sports that you can offer to our kids up there, and it's good to see the schools getting behind it. So, well, if there's not any more questions from any other counselors here, I think you are free to go, and really a great report, and appreciate you, Mr.
Thank you.
Bunch, and all the work you
Appreciate
do.
Good to see you.
All right, dropping down to our Head Start, Miss Verna Thompson.
Good afternoon. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have on my report. If you don't, I have a couple of things I wanted to brag on our staff about. Perfect attendance. Last month I mentioned it, and I love working with a group that likes to come to work, you know, when they're actually engaged and not just satisfied with their job, because there is a difference between the two. We have folks that are satisfied and engaged to the point that they come to work every day. And out of so many, there was 25 who were not tardy and never missed. But this month, we added the children. 45 children came to school every day, and they'll get a certificate signed by the chief and deputy. I think that's a pretty neat keepsake for them to put in their baby books. And I'm talking babies. So any other questions I'd like to answer if you have them?
Do we have any questions for Ms. Thompson on anything today? Yes, Counselor Keith Austin.
Really not a comment for you as much as I can't find the report. Is just missing in my book, or is it not? What's that? 13. Okay. Thank you.
I'd like to add how excited we are about Diane Kelly's program, and our staff have really just jumped on it. It's like an early Christmas gift for them to get to be able to go and do that, and such good incentive, too. So we appreciate working with our internal partners within Cherokee Nation. That's what makes Head Start tick, is our partnerships.
All right, any other questions for Ms. Thompson? Well, I think I have just one quick suggestion since you just brought up or question about the angel tree now, since you did bring it up on some of the things to jump on. I guess that's coming up here pretty soon, right? Are we getting in October? When will that start? Or is it something we get with Diane Kelly with?
Oh, the angel tree? Is
Yeah.
that a Diane Kelly thing?
I think that'll be our,
Oh, it's ICW.
I'll be ICW, okay. All
But
right, perfect.
we
I just
do-
knew everything's talking about with the shipping delay and everyone's needing to start purchasing things for Christmas.
Well,
Being as a delay, something I was kind of just jumping on since I heard it.
Well, we've started our annual drive, and we do a salt drive for the seniors in the nursing homes and such, so that's our program goal.
Okay, great. Well, if we don't have any more questions for Ms. Thompson, appreciate you. Appreciate everything
Thank
you
you.
do, and we'll be free to go today. All right, we got Janice Randall with Cherokee Nation Foundation.
Good afternoon. You have my report in front of you, I hope, and I just wanted to go over a few things. The ACT program, which is a college readiness that they take before they get admitted to college, has really grown since COVID because we started it virtually. We're having one tonight, and that was, when we put it online on our webpage, anyone that is getting ready and they're signed up to take that test, whether they live in Alaska, Florida, or Tahlequah, they can take our class. So it's really appealed to the at-large students. And another new thing we've added is at Sequoia High School, if you look on page 4, I believe, we're trying this. It's just a pilot program. We started it this summer. And it is a cybersecurity, as Diane Kelly said, she has programs. This is also a certificate program. And at Sequoia High School, they're doing it during their lunchtime, or they can come in after school. They do about 2 hours a week. And we have teachers from Cal Poly in California, and we're doing Zoom classes with them. And they don't get a credit. This is, like I say, it's on their own time. And you can see the starting pay because every company is looking for a cybersecurity person in today's time. And what I'm hoping is that these students can earn a certificate. Actually, their high school life, they can earn 5 certificates. And they can, because I hope college is for everyone, but sometimes students don't really know when they first get out of school if they want to go to college. But this would allow them to work. We have all the Cherokee Nation businesses, we have Cherokee Federal, and I'm trying to get a pipeline where they take our outstanding students and they get jobs and stay with the tribe. And so that's my goal. And they can earn those 5 certificates and make the money. And when they saw the amount of money they could make, it's outstanding. But to even be able to do that between like their sophomore and junior year to save money if they want to go to college, if they want to start their own business, if they want to get a car to go to college, that's what I'm hoping. And we just did the pilot program at Sequoia, and if it's successful, I want to start adding other schools. And then the last part of the report is the scholarships, which I know you've all been asked about. And when I came here about 8 years ago, we served about 100 students. Last year, we served over 5,000 students. We had less than 500,000 in scholarships. We have almost 3 million in scholarships that are strictly from donors. And this is not, tribal money. It's individuals that give money. And if they give between $5,000 and $25,000, Cherokee Nation Foundation will match that money. And we put it in SWAB, and every year we pay out 5% of that money in scholarships. And the scholarships are listed. They have to do it online. I have so many calls. They're open from November 1st to January 31st. But they have to go in, and if they don't qualify, the computer throws them out. And just like Corey said, we have people that just see it and apply. They may not even be Cherokee. So that's why they would get denied. But ours are very competitive. They're different than his scholarships in that some of them are 3.0, some are 3.5, some are 2.0, and the donors get to make, we have some that, like Adair County is now going to have 3 scholarships just for their students in Adair County that they've gotten money for. They're very specific. So if anyone asks, that's how we decide our scholarships, and we have lots of people call and ask questions, and we're trying to get more and more of these scholarships. So, do you have any questions?
Good report. You have any questions for Ms. Randall? Yes, Councilor Dobbins.
Yes, Janice, on page 21, the education is where the scholarship opportunities are. Could you kind of briefly describe the selection process?
Okay,
About 22 scholarships, how, in general, how does the selection process go?
okay. We have an outside company in Austin, Texas, that, like I said, you know, they throw them out if they're not qualified. And then, so we get a list of the students that are qualified. And then I have a person in my office that goes through and blacks out all the identifying factors, their name, where they live, and all that's seen for the readers. And I ask for individuals to read. I have superintendents. Mike has been a reader before, because he went to the University of Tulsa, and so he read for that. Anyway, I've just asked for people that would be qualified to read these, and so that's exactly how we do it. But when Mike read, I'm just using him for an example, we also had another person that read. He scored them, and she scored them, and then we added them together, and we go down until we spend the amount of money that that scholarship has. Like, one of them is a $200,000, so we're going to be giving away $10,000. We'll probably give away 5 scholarships for that one, so each person will get $2,000 each. But if only one person applies and only one person is qualified, that one person would get $5,000 a semester. So that's how it's decided. Our office has nothing to do with reading or selecting or even knowing who is qualified, except the girl that blacks out, and she lives in Sequoyah County. So she's not even in the office. She works out of Sequoyah County. She has an office at Carl Albert.
I guess it's important for the counselors to know that selection process is anonymous. You know, like you mentioned, I read on one of them, I had no clue who applied, didn't know any of the family that was involved. So if anybody complains to you, well, my child didn't get the Cherokee Nation Foundation scholarship, and it's just an anonymous process, the best we can do it. So thank you, Janice. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks, Councilor Dobbins. Any other questions? All right, I just have one statement I think that I heard in your report on the cybersecurity career pathways. My goodness, those are some good paying salaries starting off. And the fact
I've
that
had
students,
teachers that said, "Can I take the class while I'm..."
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Might be able to do that in between these council sessions for myself. One thing that you had mentioned that I really hope to see is that your involvement to try to get Cherokee students that can get the certificates can start working for Cherokee Federal. That's something that I've expressed a couple of concerns with Chuck Garrett over there, was that not employing enough Cherokee citizens through the Cherokee Federal 8A contracts. And if we can get that going, that's a good way to streamline our students going into getting a certificate and then on to Cherokee Federal with all these new jobs that are being created. That's a great idea. I appreciate the work that you're doing and appreciate the report. So, yeah, Councilor Legg.
So how, and some of y'all might be able to answer this. So I see District 1 scholarship, District 3 scholarship. How are those, is that paid for by the council member?
You guys have funds, and you give to certain,
Yeah.
I don't even know how your money goes.
Does that come out of community assistance?
Yes, that's where we get you went in with, what are you, 6?
I think you went in with Brian. for-
Okay, 6 and 8 went together and gave $5,000 out of their community funds. Rex has just did that out of his community funds. And then we have another one.
I got you.
Is it 3?
District 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's Wes's. Are you District 3? Okay, yes. And so they would just be for their students in their districts. But we matched the money also.
I got you.
On Janice's, she and her husband gave their own personal money.
Okay.
I wanted to say something to Wes.
Yes.
Back to what you said, though. When I started, I came from Indian education at Tahlequah Public Schools, and I didn't even know about the foundation, and I was looking for scholarships, and so that's one thing that I wanted it to be more marketed to every single person. And then I also checked with Cherokee Nation businesses, and they had under 50% that were Cherokee. And I couldn't understand, when you have all these good quality students, why they're not. But when I asked my students, why aren't you working for Cherokee Nation? They say, oh, I don't want to work at the casino, because that's all they see. So we're also trying to see that, you know, Cherokee Nation businesses, Cherokee Federal are all over the world and in all 50 states. And we're trying to show them that they don't just have to stay right here where they are. And two, these cyber jobs are, you can work from anywhere now. And so I did meet with Cherokee Nation businesses and Cherokee Federal, and Chuck Garrett, actually last year, I don't know if you had talked to him, but he wrote a individual letter to each of our scholarship winners and asked them, when they got out of college, to be sure and think of Cherokee Nation businesses as a first choice for their jobs.
That's great news to hear. Great news to hear. Well, appreciate the report. One comment, I think, Councilor Legg, if that's something you're looking to do, is try to get a district scholarship program. I'm sure you can get with Ms. Randall there, and we may have to create a resolution or something to start that for you, and I'm sure you can get with our legal there to get that done. So,
Thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Appreciate the report. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. All right, dropping down to old business, none pending. We have one new business item on there, and Councilor Legg, do you mind taking that for us?
Resolution recognizing, commemorating, and celebrating
The 150th anniversary of Sequoia Schools, and reaffirming Cherokee Nation's commitment to ensuring the continued vitality of Sequoia Schools. And I put that form in motion.
We got a motion, do I got a second? Second. All right, second. Any discussion? And it needs to go to full council tonight. All right, if there's no discussion there, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? None opposed? And I think that is all that we have on the agenda today. Any announcements from anybody?
Could I be added as a sponsor on that?
Yes. Shelley? Same here, sponsor here.
Sure.
I think that's, everybody's a sponsor on that one. All right, good deal. Well, if we don't have any announcements, I just need one more motion. So move in a second. All in favor? All right.